2026 comes with opportunities for those who know how to see and hear, so if you learn to understand 2026, I assure you it will make you shine. Hello, how are you? I am Marsa Carbonell. I am a professional channeler, and as you well know, we have been sharing the messages of the beings of light for years, sharing their wisdom and, in short, the advice, those practical ones, and so on. Agile, and that also come to us for our daily lives. So in these podcasts, I want to accompany you every month to understand the energies that come to us from the stars, from the planetary movements of our dear Mother Earth, and also from the movements that as a species, as the human race, we are also leading, mobilizing, and that we also need not for our evolution as a species. In any case, mixing these three energies results a whole range of possibilities that the beings of light explain to us in an easy and simple way so that we can understand and put them into practice. On this occasion, I want to talk to you about the month of January, of course, but we will go a little further. Are we going to talk about the whole of 2026? Because that's how we are preparing, we are getting mentally prepared, and we are seeing a little how the thing that is always good for us is, right? In any case, we come from 2025 and 2025. It's been 1 year since it's been very good, but also a little disheveled. Don't you think it has brought us a lot of learning, a lot of closures, truth about cycles, patterns, releases, karmatics it has brought us? It has also brought us truths. My mother, how many truths it has brought us, right? How many veils have fallen there over the course of the year? It has also brought us detoxification jewels, not duels, in the sense that since there have been closures of cycles, closures of lids, well, on many occasions it has also brought us that need to say goodbye, not to say goodbye to what we have been for so long. 2025 has been a great teacher, but above all it has been a year that has prepared us. It has prepared us for a 2026. We can no longer say not to be warned. They are always warning us and advising us. Life demands more and more authenticity from us. Life every time, perhaps for a while, for a few centuries. Has it been viable to live from the mind? Living from that pattern is true of listening to the soul above. But increasingly, this energy is changing more and more necessary. It is more important to listen inward, understand the voice of our soul, and understand that there is nothing standard here. That is, we are all part of immense gears, and that each gear has its own shape. It has its size, its speed, and that we go, that we are not the same, nor is it necessary. And it is also counterproductive that we are increasingly similar, not more standardized. Globalization has brought good things, and others, as in this case, sometimes brings us bad things, right? Not so much anymore. On a cultural level, I speak above all at the soul level, at the level of each one, at the level of our internal truths. In any case, it's been a while. Not just 2025, obviously, if we look back, they already warned us. It is increasingly important to go inside and understand who you are, because it is increasingly easier to get lost in a society that overwhelms on so many occasions, overwhelms and does not allow us not to pay attention to who. One is 2026 comes strong in this sense. Look, 2026 is a gift. It is a gift on an energy level, both because of the stars and because Mother Earth is coming to bring us the opportunities for our soul to manifest itself. But for that, we must know who we are. We'll talk about that a little bit later, right? Now I'm going to tell you a little more, but in any case, you have to understand 2026. You have to listen to it. You have to look at it. Therefore, you have to be present. So, as you will understand, the first advice that the beings of light give us in this 2026 is presence, surrender to being, and that can mean different things for each one. But what does it mean to you anyway? Even throughout 2025, he has transmuted that concept. Being in presence can obviously be practicing meditation. What a good way to do it, but sometimes it can be, as we say, peeling potatoes. and breathing without thinking too much about what I have to do, what I don't have to do, without thinking too much. Who did you tell me? I don't know that the other day you noticed that I explained to myself that being in presence is sometimes simply being in the action, but letting life be without carrying the weight of decisions or what was or emotions. Anyway, then there is the first advice for 2026. Is a state in presence, and in 2026, what does it bring us? Well, it brings us movement, it brings us new beginnings, it brings us alignment, right? With that energy of what we are, which doesn't have to be the same as what we were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. These new alignments do not actually have to be because we were misaligned, simply because the very evolution of our soul also implies new alignments through which to manifest ourselves. So new alignments, new beginnings of what was closed, of what was cleared, beauty, passion, power, fluidity, and above all, opportunities, lots of new opportunities. But aligned with what we are now, not with what we were, not with what we want to be, not with what we thought we were. So in 2026, you will start to intuit. It's going to ask us to look inside, right? A lot of authenticity. But really, if we do it, it's going to bring us what we didn't even think was possible. So it's going to be worth it. Look, I have prepared a small graph for you with the energies of 2026. And you will see that more or less in the middle of the year it branches not into two lines. And here we have something that is not the first year that has happened to us. It's been going on pretty much my whole life, right? And the energies that reach us will not always reach us the same. It's like when, for example, you make a diet with organic food, with the best nutrients, looking at the macros and micros and doing everything well, but as it is with anxiety, you eat with a tight stomach because you're in a hurry. How's your food going to sit? How are your cells going to digest it? Well, they're probably not going to do it well, no matter how high quality it is, right? And here it's a little bit the same. The year 2026 brings us many opportunities, not much energy of recognition, many rebirths or K, but how do you have your heart? How do you listen to yourself? How do you look at yourself? So from there, not all of us are going to experience it. I could still have made 1001 graphics, but I wanted to simplify, especially because life is already quite complicated. We're going to make things a little easy, right? So, well, I did try to make it a uniform graph, but from the middle of the year onwards, it was impossible. It has nothing to do with it. So, well, let's give this first half of the year a review together, okay? Taking into account that obviously there will be variations from one to another depending on the openness that I have to seeing myself, listening, looking, etc., etc. So, well, the first thing we're going to see is that this graph represents the intensity with which it comes to us. And this intensity is the energy that I've described to you before, Energy of rebirth, opportunity, fluidity, truth, movement. If you are a person who doesn't like movement very much and who doesn't like changes very much, maybe you're not going to enjoy 2026 very much, but I'm a little crazy. I love this thing of changing and mobilizing. Well, 2026 makes me excited, honestly. In any case, how does it reach this intensity at the beginning of the year? Looks like it's starting out softer, doesn't it? And it has a peak there, like in February, at the end of February. So this goes up until February. You have to remember that in January we have all this change of weather. Do you remember? We talked about it in the energies of the month of December, and I told you, notice that time accelerates. Notice that from the solstice, right? With the arrival of the maximum point, also the approach of 3 and Atlas to the Earth, we had that acceleration of time, and we commented that this time accelerates, and it may be that we have the feeling that it is slipping through our fingers, right? As long as we're not getting into the right frequency. If you make the evolutionary leap with the Earth, that is, time accelerates because the Earth evolves, it makes an evolutionary leap. If you do it with it, not only does time not slip through your hands, but it spills even more with the whole issue of relativity between dimensions, time, right? We the matter. So, well, this intensity is going in crescendo, it's growing. Where do you live it from? Remember, that's what it will frame if it's aligned with this whole stream of new possibilities of abundance, right? I haven't put the word abundance in it because I know it could be misinterpreted. Is it a word that I always use with caution because the 1,000 interpretations that can be given to it, and especially because of the mind there that betrays what equal abundance means truth, but in some way we could use it perfectly this year, right? Also in any case. And we're going to talk about opportunities, about movements, about new scenes that come into play so that you can develop who you are. Don't tell me that's not plenty. Come on, I see it clearly. Clarinet, in any case, peak bread until the end of February. Then we go down, March, April goes down, down, down. Doesn't mean it's bad, just that the intensity is low and nothing happens. He thinks that if now we feel with movements. And this is in crescendo, and I think that at the end of February there is still a lot of movement. Maybe a break is good for us, so it's not bad, huh? After that comes a little drop in the level of the intensity of movements. A small knot is even generated, right? Between March and April, a small knot where the energy stagnates. Take it as a breather, it is not a bad thing. Take it as a breather that is also necessary in the face of changes, movements. Veils that fell, and of course now I am reborn. I have to give myself breath. It's true that everything is very exciting, everything is very mobilizing, everything shines a lot if we enter the right frequency, everything is very fantastic, but a breath is going to sit wonderfully on us. So there we have that not as something negative but as something intelligent. It's true that the energy brings us. Then we have another peak again. Come on, go, we go up, we go up, we go up, we go up. Pam, and we set up there in July, we planted in July, and here there is indeed a fork that I cannot ignore. I mean, there will also be forks in the first half of the year, and there I can turn a blind eye a little, but not from July, no, because it's another story, it's another movement. It means that people, even if they live it halfway or even closed, will have downward movements, they will have a marked decline. That is to say, the opportunities are not that they do not reach them, it is as if they had a shield of protection and of course it slipped away, not as if they did not, as if these opportunities, even though they arrive tailor-made for what they are like a soul based on not listening to each other, because somehow they disperse, they do not literally reach them, no, at least not with the same intensity with which. Perhaps the people I hope to include in this, I hope to be attentive because life turns around and sometimes emotions can betray us. Of course, yes, no one is perfect, but in any case, I hope to be able to include myself among the group of people who will be with an open heart and listening, whatever that means, although it is not surprising because how fun that life is not always the same. This brings us, well, to the end. Hey, in the end we're always reading the same book, right? How boring. Well, that's a little what 2026 brings us. It is a new book that must be discovered. I find it exciting. In any case, there we have that differentiation. No, the downward line is for people there who are not feeling aligned, who have no intention of doing so, who in fact so much change, it may even overwhelm them. And this same descent for them is a respite, right? Also say, hey, we're going to lower it until maybe September and then I'll take revenge. Oops, one last chance, there it goes up a little and a little bit of life is going to drag us down. 2026 is coming strong, it's coming a bit like a tsunami. It's not exactly a tsunami, it could be worse. I think it can be years to come. I think 2027 can be even stronger. I don't know for sure, but it gives me that feeling. Well, in the end, I am not an astrologer. I do not know the energies that are going to accompany us from the stars, simply the channels that I have at the moment. And as I tell you, they come not only from the stars, from the earth and from society, a little bit of the human being. Well, in any case, what I wanted to tell you is still only intuiting what 2027 could be, but it seems that it is coming stronger, so maybe I will reserve the word tsunami for 2027. We better do our homework in 2026, which seems to give us breathing space. I don't know if the 27th will do it, but in any case. There we have that oscillation. On the other hand, for the people who I hope, as I told you, are included, we will not know. Keeps the beak pretty high. It doesn't seem like movement opportunities to you, but because we will be enjoying it, we will be aligned with it. We will have entered this new dynamic of time and we will be, I don't mean that there is a constant change from week to week, something different, but we will be in that change and let's say in that new paradigm, in that evolutionary leap. And we won't have to adapt because it will already be part of it. Let me explain. It does not mean that there is one change after another constantly that overwhelms anyone, simply that we will have adapted to the change that 2026 asks of us, and it will do so in the form of new opportunities. But there will come a time throughout the year when they will no longer be new, when we will be entering that language, and in that way. Something very funny happens in November. When the beings of light channeled the graph to me, I didn't understand very well what that little bow he makes above is. It's not the first time you've tied us a bow, is it? The graphics of the beings of light seem very fun to me, sometimes, well, very mysterious, or so it causes me a lot of curiosity, and this bow is like a plus. Those that really open up a lot will have a plus. That is, not everyone is going to do the bow, so let's say that somehow we would have 3 lines. Those who are not ready to open or don't want to open, those who open and those who open a lot. And the loop is for those who open a lot, and this goes off the graph. So this is good. I think it is a very beautiful thing, like a very beautiful opportunity that arrives in November. We will reveal what it is about. I feel very alchemical. I feel very sorry, from a place of absolute magic, of a brutal manifestation. So let's see what it brings us, but they still don't reveal to me all the mysteries of what this is about. Well, I feel like discovering it too that way, it's also more fun, right? But I do see it as something very alchemical, very good, a very, very great opportunity for those who say, hey, I'm going all out, I'm going all out, I'm giving myself entirely, not whatever I have to be. Then in the middle of the year, there are little peaks that I haven't told you about. For example, at the beginning of March, there is a good connection with the ancestors, a connection that usually occurs in October, November, and obviously it is annual, and it is very good and very rich and very tangible. We will also have a good release of karmas in June, end of June, July. Well, it will be soft, it will be good, but it will be soft because last year's was stronger, so it's okay, it will be simple. But hey, great, and due in some way to a domino effect to this release of karmas, in August we will have a very good connection with past lives. There are going to come together different timelines that are going to overlap us, and well, a good spectacular work, true of past lives, well, August, September too. To work with it, and not only to heal them, which would be fantastic, also if there are any to heal, but also to empower us. It is not part of this, as I was telling you, of these new opportunities, because in past lives we have worked and we have been and we have discovered and we have manifested and we have so many things that are in our cellular memory, in our unconscious, in the energy of our soul, that when we open up to be who we are, and also that whole package of information comes to us. Well, things happen like very, 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 very powerful, not very powerful, really very powerful. So, well, this is a little bit of the scheme of the year that I wanted to tell you, trying to make it as simple as possible and as practical as possible, but above all, realizing that each story is different and that we are going to have to walk it, right, and find out. Socially, 2026 can be complex, huh? I don't want the energy I'm talking about. They are high-frequency energies, but we must also take into account that at a social level, the year 2026 may begin to mark a gray stage. And there are things that are dying, and there are things that are being delayed. I didn't want to include this in the graph. I didn't want to put it either. I didn't want to give it too much weight, because there are many realities sometimes that overlap in experimentation here on Earth. And truly, if you open up to be who you are. You open yourself to the truth of your heart, your soul, and truly that they are not words to put. This is a reality and will be very tangible in 2026. Everything great that this 2026 is also going to bring to a society that is becoming obsolete. It will splash you less than if you let yourself be carried away by that trend. Yes, I don't want to get into catastrophes. I don't want to get into alarm messages. But I mean, I don't want to deceive you. I don't think that in 2026 nothing is going to happen to us, not at a social level. Let's say, man, and he will do this and he will do that. These things will happen, but they don't have to be part of your practical daily life. That is, don't be blind. Obviously it's going to happen, but you don't say it invades your life either. At least you can't avoid it, no? Each one has its scenario, and this I am aware, but don't allow that to invade you, because what it brings us. It is a very big polarization in 2026. Notice that the polarization already began years ago, but there is more and more polarization, and it seems that we live in different worlds, sometimes some people and others, despite perhaps living in the same town. And I don't talk anymore, do I? If we start talking about the first world and the third world, obviously, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about energies, frequencies, the heart, the joy of living, not that of gratitude. For the essence, for what we are, the quality of life. I'm talking to you about quality of life. And that doesn't sometimes understand cultures or anything. It understands this, what I'm pointing out to you. The heart is not sorry, but it doesn't talk about this. And that is the great polarization that was already occurring, and that this year 2026 also delivers. So society is decadent society that we have built at the level of government, like, I don't know, multinationals, like things like that, is decadent, and this is going to be tangent. But remember that your vibration now makes the difference. Your vibration tells you which path you walk. And here there are two very clear paths. Obviously there are more. There are grays, there are range of grays. It's not just black and white, but I'm simplifying it for you. Okay, you can be in the middle term in some, but there are two main paths. Make sure that you give it your time, your energy, your fight. Try to raise the frequency, be in presence, and all the things that the beings of light are now going to advise us. And do not give so much power to the social. Obviously, we can't live back to back. Obviously, in your life path, it may be that it is precisely to change this system. So if you want to be aligned with who you are, you're going to have to immerse yourself in it, right? So forgive me if yes, by generalizing, I am not understanding what your life path is, what you prioritize. Is that it always be what is in your heart or what you are, but don't let them drag you away with what may not be part of your life. Prana. You know what prana is, not the energy that is in all those things. Energy that's even in the air. I am sure that perhaps one day on the beach you have been able to see like propellers in the sky, like energies that turn around in the sky, in the mountains, in nature. No, perhaps on the balcony of your house, sometimes you can see it in the sky and inside the house too. Obviously those little propellers of energy, not when you blur your gaze, that's prana. And the prana comes strong. The prana comes with the energy of 2026 that I told you. Movement, freedom, new beginnings, alignment, beauty, passion, power, opportunities, everything comes with all that. So you breathe and surrender to it. Well, and what are the advice of the beings of light for this 2026? Well, they could give you a ton of advice, they could, but you know what? They're going to give you one, just one, which serves the entire year. Then month after month they will give us more. Don't worry that they won't leave us, they won't let go of our hand, but the advice they give us is precisely know yourself. Know yourself. Your duty is to know yourself. Know yourself. One easy, stay with this, know yourself. Why do you have to meet yourself? Because when the opportunities arrive, when the new rebirths arrive that are going to arrive from within like a tsunami, because you will be breathing forever, that is going to infect you whole, or from outside that is going to invade you with different circumstances. You have to know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you may still be wrong and say no. Where should you say yes or you say yes? Where should you say no? Because one thinks it is known, but this can change over time. Even the people who we usually look at and work on and reflect on who we are even, and there we can surprise ourselves. I'm the first one who considers that I work. Obviously I am not perfect, and obviously if I were in other circumstances I probably wouldn't do better, but I still consider that I work quite well and that I look at myself. How's it going? And yet 2025 has made me realize new things, and it seems to me that this is a gift. 2026 brings us even more. And I may not have told you at the beginning of this podcast, but I'm still going to tell you now. It's Mary Magdalene, it's Sarah, and it's the Archangel Michael who are above all giving these messages that I'm telling you and everything that I'm telling you. So somehow get to know you, but before you know, you have to know what it means to know you. That's the first question. I will try to be brief so that the podcast doesn't get too long, but I think it is important that before meeting you, you can know. What does it mean to meet you? Knowing yourself is not giving you structure. It is not giving you mind. It is not giving you words. Knowing yourself doesn't come from there. It doesn't go, it ends up emerging. But knowing you comes from loving you. The first step to know you comes from loving you what it means. Knowing you means being unconditional with you, that nothing happens, that you can reflect on your desires or what you like. And don't blame yourself, or don't punish yourself, or don't say, oysters, this should be different. That you can say, come on, well, it's true. Well, in reality, I don't feel like this. Everyone does, and I not you. Well, man, how funny, and that you stay like this, wider than long or wider than long, and that's it. That's meeting you first. The first step is to love yourself unconditionally, be able to look at yourself and let what you discover in yourself. You don't have to justify it, you don't have to be fine, that everything is fine, that there may be things in you that are not in order, that are not in balance, and even that is fine because you have a story. It doesn't come from nothing. There are no things that are out of place just because they will be out of place for something. What can you see? Oysters. Well, this is unadjusted. Hey, come on, well, we will have to adjust it. We will have to work on it. Okay, well, we will get on. And that's it. I'm going to ask the beings of light to help me. I'm going to see what opportunities life brings me, and I'm going to work on it. I'm going to channel it, and we can love each other unconditionally. Is it the first step? And although you think that knowing yourself means defining yourself, it actually means loving you is strong, huh? But when you turn it around and give it presence, you'll realize how much this means, won't you? Well, why meet you?
At the end of the day, it means being able to see yourself without judgment, and you're always trying to define yourself and not loving yourself. There will be things that you are going to give it a little twist, or because you are ashamed, or because you think it should be different, or because whatever it is. No. Everything is fine. Everything is on the table. And if there's anything out of alignment, hey.
Well, we look for solutions and what is perfectly aligned and what is nothing like the others. Hey, well, look how curious and how you resemble others. Come on, look, well, how good, how easy. Let me explain. Everything that is in you is good. What is not good is excessive definitions, and that is mind. So let's give unconditional love to your soul, to your character, as long as the character. Be aligned with that fantastic voice that comes from your heart. So no words, no structure, no mind. All that ends up coming out. But as a side effect, that is over time, when you give yourself presence, when you give yourself reflection, the day does not end, or the weekends. When you are in bed, reflecting about what has happened throughout the day, and see what you have said, what you have done, what you have thought, what you have felt. And if you simply feel yourself, it will happen that you will give yourself structure, you will define yourself, and words will emerge, obviously, but it is not the objective. It is only the vehicle to reach you, okay? So this year, try to know yourself, try to love yourself unconditionally, then try to give you this presence, to be here and now. Well, as we said, peeling potatoes or practicing meditation or practicing the observation of nature, that always intoxicates the heart. And it's one thing that's fantastic, seeing the stars at night shining. And there are sincere reflections, without justifications, without the need for, oh, I should, this should be the other. Is everything okay? Just give it context, give it coherence. And make it natural, make it natural, make it natural. Jump out of what seemed like it should be and get into what you are, because what you are is divine, and divinity can never be wrong. That's the secret, right? So 2026 gives you something strong, but only if you do it through this language of inner language, Sara. It gives us something, plus it can be very useful to you, and it is a symbol that I put on the screen. This symbol will help you get to know yourself, but remember well, if you don't love yourself, there is no fertile ground. This symbol is going to slip, it's not going to go deep. Remember well, Loving yourself is essential, and that is not arrogance. It is not, I am better than it goes the other way around.
You know that you love yourself unconditionally precisely when you don't feel better than others? But you don't feel worse either. It's just that everything is just fine, that it's simple. Tara. That's the energy. So in good fertile soil, this symbol is going to work wonders, okay, for you. So Sarah gives it to us with a lot of love, also sponsored by Maria Magdalena, who always takes care of and sponsors a lot. Also the path that we open ourselves to work with consciousness and with the authenticity of being. So I invite you to work with him. If you feel like it, you can use it in your water bottle, you can draw it on your body, you can put it on your wallpaper, you can put it on your desk, on your altar, under your cushion, wherever you want. Every day there is no overdose. There are some symbols that can happen, but this is not the case. So I invite you to work with him, because the truth is that investing time in getting to know yourself, not only this, 2026 always really delivers very powerful fruits more than any other story, more than any other context. Really knowing yourself is going to give you the world and make you shine. So we have a sponsor. We are super sponsored this 2026 so that we can be ourselves, so that we can do things. Remember that knowing yourself will not mean that you change your profession. It may not mean that you change anything if it is not so much what you do, but how you do it. Your life path is not so much what you manifest, but from where you manifest what you manifest. So the path of life was always inside. It was always inside and well before it was over. What are the proposals of light and consciousness for 2026? Well, we do. Obviously, you know. If you want to connect with the beings of light, remember that it is something natural, that it belongs to all of us, that we are part of this consciousness, which is everywhere. And of course, channeling the beings of light is also in you. So if you feel like it, you have a free guided meditation. You also have, if you wish, every month, a message that arrives in your email inbox. And for those of you who are already channelers, well, if you want to learn to channel, you have the course to learn to channel. Of course, if you want to see different ways of channeling, everyday practices, how somehow the dimensions are distributed, understand. No, this, how does it work? He has that course to learn how to channel, but if you are already a channeler and you want to go further, this month of January, we really have the opening of professional channeling. Finally, I know that there are many of you who are writing to me. I am about to open registrations. So stay attentive. If you want to be in this training, then we already know what happens with the places. In any case, I'll let you know and we'll start in February. Professional channeling, it is a training that lasts 1 entire year. And we work on channeling in depth so that you can do it professionally. It does not imply that you have to dedicate yourself to it. Obviously, if you want to do it, you can do it. And if you don't want to do it, you will simply channel professionally for yourself, for your friends, for your family, and for those who are important to you, which is also a great gift and a great treasure later for those of you who are waiting for shamanism, which you already know is a training that I open every 2 years because, well, at level 1, level 2, and between one thing and the other, there the 2 years happen. It will also open in October. So this is finally the year in which we will start a new group. And I know that there are also several of you who are there thinking to see if it will finally be the time, because 2026 also brings us shamanism to the full, just before that great loop. Do you remember that November when you tied us a bow? There we will start shamanism with all that good energy and that good to the energy situation that seems like an extra gift to me, and this is a little bit the distribution of the year 2026, of course. Then there are, as you well know, retreats and projects that come out like this at a specific level, especially for channelers and for people who practice shamanism. And then there we do in-person retreats, online, etc., etc. So if you want to be up to date with these things, you can also write to me, because many times you don't. I didn't end up publishing it because the places are already filling up very, very, very quickly. But in any case, if you feel like it, write to me that I can put you on the list of interested parties, and that way you can also be aware of it. That's it. I wish you a wonderful start to the year in 2026 with all this acceleration of time and these preparations and this rising energy of opportunities and paradigm shift, that they no longer mark off anything. We're starting January off on a high, so let's go for it. We are going to collect these gifts, these opportunities that 2026 brings us. Surely at some point it is going to mess up our hair because it is coming very strong, but nothing is going to happen that we are not prepared for. So we are going to open our hearts and let ourselves go. A very, very huge hug.